Tuh, I got punted. That's awesome. This is going so bad tonight on every stretch. So bad. Mike, please bail me out. Hey, Terry, what's going on? Dude, this is going off the rails really fast tonight.
You know what? The last couple of weeks have been very strange. Very strange.
And we test ran this. God, how many times?
We did it, you know. Yeah, we done all you know. We did this off live, you know, and we didn't have no issues with it. And now the last couple of weeks have been very funky.
I don't get it.
But then you said Facebook's been screwing around with updates.
Yeah, Facebook's been running updates, and they've just been absolutely horrible. I mean, at least it says third time is a charm. Yeah, I know. Knock on wood.
Yeah,
I know I'm not going to knock on my head.
there's no feedback either. So
Yeah, it's working out pretty good. So we'll keep it going.
well, yeah, I don't know. You were on what, your laptop, or what were you on?
Well, I started on my tablet. My laptop is another story because that took a complete and total shit last week. I was trying to update it, you know, get it ready to do the show and whatnot, and I ended up getting the blue screen of death. So
I've had that. I know what that is.
and then, you know, I tried my tablet tonight, and I guess there's buzzing and chirping coming back through, so I switched over to the phone. I started the second video, and then for whatever, I got a message showed up that said, can't continue live video, and it punted me out. So
Well, we had so many issues. I had a lot of issues. Not just my drinking problem last week, but we had other issues going on besides that. But yeah, the live video the last couple of weeks, I don't know what's going on with it, but we can't. Now week one went good. Now last week was very unsettled. This week is starting off unsettled. Maybe next week we can get this off, you know, like a hitch, and without no issues going on. But we'll see.
Lisa said, still getting the clipping noise. I don't know what to do about that.
I don't hear no clipping noise, but I hear you loud and clear. I hear you a lot better now than I have heard you the whole video.
That's good. So let's I guess let's start off with Full Gear. Might as well. We can blow through that before getting through the obvious topic.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. You know what? Yeah. If you're going to do the main event, then you might as well do the minor events first.
So AEW is, and honestly, you know what? I was going to order it, but this week I've been laid up with a nasty sinus infection. I didn't go out and Uber or anything. So, you know, I'm just not going to order it, I don't think.
When is it, Sunday?
No, it's tomorrow night.
Oh, tomorrow night?
Headlining match, and this one is kind of obvious who the winner's going to be. Eddie Kingston and Jon Moxley, I Quit match.
Jon Moxley.
Yeah, I got Moxley too in that one. The undercard is fantastic. Yeah, I have the TV on. Lisa, let me turn that down.
Yeah, I put mine on silent. That's what before I came on here.
Yeah, I just silenced mine. Okay, so we both got Moxley tomorrow night. Chris Jericho and MJF, with the stipulation that if MJF wins, he's in the inner circle.
I'm going to go with Chris Jericho.
I'm going to go with MJF. I think somehow he weasels his way in, and it's good long-term storytelling. He's going to weasel his way in, and they're kind of, I think, going to rewrite it when Cody first went into the Elite. You know how they had the thing that he was like kind of screwing around from the inside or what forth.
Right.
I think they might go with that, but we'll have to wait and see. Uh, the finals of the World Title Eliminator Tournament. I guess the winner gets the next shot at Mox or Eddie Kingston, whoever wins. Kenny Omega against Adam Page.
Oof. I'm going to go with Kenny Omega.
Yeah, I'm taking Kenny Omega too. Although I tend to think Adam Page is going to pull it out just because they're all promoting it like this has been like Kenny Omega's breakout, you know, yada, yada, yada. The Young Bucks against FTR. The caveat for this is if the Young Bucks do not win, they will never challenge for the tag titles again.
I'm gonna. This one's a little tricky, but I'm gonna go with the Young Bucks.
Now keep in mind, Matt Jackson has a legit leg injury that may kind of, hamper him.
Well, if you threw that in there, then I maybe might change my mind because I haven't kept up with it over the last few weeks,
Dude, I told you we were going to talk about this tonight.
well, you know what? I know the wrestlers in there. I don't always watch it, but I kind of know what's going on. But I watch Raw more, Raw and well, not even Raw. I probably watch SmackDown more than than anything else. But I was watching AEW, before I went on night shift, but I haven't kept up with AEW in the last 3 months hardly.
By the way, I'm taking the Young Bucks too, just because FTR, my understanding is they're there on a handshake deal. I don't think it's long term. Orange Cassidy and John Silver.
Orange Cassidy.
I'm taking Orange Cassidy too. Now there's two women's matches. There's Nyla Rose. She's taking on the champion. I forget what her name. She's from Japan. I forget what her name is. Hirosha something or other.
I don't know who you're talking about, but I would say
I would go with Nyla. If I were you, I'd take Nyla Rose because it's more or less going to be her coronation, especially with Vicky Guerrero as her manager.
Yeah, Nyla Rose. And I was going to pick that before you even tried to figure out who you were talking about.
Last one, Cody and Darby Allin for the TNT Championship.
Cody.
You know what? I'm going to take Darby. I'm going to go with Darby on this one. They've had two matches already. Their very first one went to a 20-minute draw, and then like 2 or 3 weeks ago, Cody faced Darby Allin and beat him in like 15. It went 15 of the 20 minutes of the time limit. Their series has been very, very good.
Yeah, I'm still going to go with. I think Cody's going to win. I think, but I guess we're going to find out. But I'm sticking with Cody.
Yeah, I'm going to go with Cody as well. Darby Allin, I mean. But Cody has been a really good champion. What I was going to say was Cody's been a really good champion. He's actually used the title, and Mel and I were talking about this earlier this week. Do you remember back in the old WCW, the old NWA, when they had the TV champion?
Yes.
He would come in and like defend a title in like 10-minute matches every week.
Right.
This kind of has that feel. Well, like a throwback to, yesteryear, so to speak.
I would say, yeah. I think you're along the same lines as the TV title. Yeah.
And especially with Arn Anderson as like the coach of the Nightmare Family,
Yeah.
it's throwing all those like old little caveats in there.
Well, throwing them all in there does definitely make a difference in a match.
So that's tomorrow night. Whoever's interested in it, it's on traditional pay-per-view, I think. It's on BR Live, and I don't know what the price point is because I haven't looked. So,
Whoops.
whoops. Nice coffee table, dude.
I know, right? I was fucking. I was trying to see who was on here because I think the audience is late tonight. I don't know who you have on your side though.
Yeah, I just got you and Nadine. I expected a light audience tonight, so
But
and we're not gonna get a
the longer we talk, we usually get a bigger crowd. As they filter in little by little,
yeah.
in and out too. Oh yeah,
So
that's
that
beautiful.
was weak.
Yeah, that was sounded like the car stalling out.
Yeah, I know, right? I had. Let me see if I can pull it up on here. With okay, well, I just lost everything. I was gonna pull up an Internet Explorer because I was gonna go over like the can. Let me fire up my tablet over here because I want to go through the weekend COVID cancellations because I did see kind of a big one. Um, and actually, I want to get your thoughts on something.
Okay, go ahead,
Come
pull it
on.
up. I'm ready.
So I'd read an article that the entire college football pregame team for Fox,
Yeah.
and this is for college football, like the Big Noon Saturday, the entire staff is in COVID quarantine.
Hmm.
So they're going to be going with the NFL team for Big Noon Saturday
That ought to be interesting.
for the studio show. It shouldn't be too bad. But I just read that report. There's another one that came through. I think like four NFL things are closed. The facilities. I think the Falcons is one. The Texans is one. Doing everything remotely because of COVID.
Hmm.
Lisa says roll call. She is here. How does that make you feel?
I don't know. You're muffled.
For me? Hold on a minute. How's that? Is that better?
Yeah. There you go.
All right. Now there's an interesting choice for Big Noon Saturday. Gus Johnson and Joel Klatt. They have a game on Fox every the big game to get everything started. USC has a noon kickoff.
Hmm.
That's 9 a.m. out there. I'm actually. I want to text Virgil about this to find out if that's legit. But
Yeah.
from what I'm reading, we get the site up real quick. Give me one moment because I use 506 Sports for a lot of the sports things.
Oh,
Here we
okay.
go. Let me while that loads, get it on the internet here.
Lisa says, "Are you sure it's not noon their time?"
No, it's noon our time. So Arizona State and USC is kicking off at noon Eastern,
Okay, which is
with
8 o'clock there. Their
and
time.
9 a.m. out there, which I thought was weird, but not necessarily unheard of because I know Wyoming every now and then will kick off at 2 p.m. I know Washington State, they've had games kick off at 2 p.m., especially if the NFL is going to be in their stadium the next week. So we've got Washington and Cal tomorrow night is canceled. A big one that was canceled is tomorrow morning. Air Force at Army. The game was supposed to be at West Point. That's off now. Tulsa and Navy, that's off. So you've got all like the service teams. All of their games are off for tomorrow.
I guess college football is having a lot of issues now too.
Oh yeah, exactly. Those of you here in Pennsylvania, Navy and or not Navy, Maryland and Penn State is going to be 3:30 on Big Ten Network. So who you got?
I'm gonna say Navy.
I would Navy between what? No, I said Maryland and Penn State.
Oh, Maryland, Penn State. I thought you were still in Navy, but you said that one was canceled anyway.
Yeah.
I'm still going with Penn State. Penn State's struggling, but I'm still going with Penn State.
They need to win tomorrow. I mean, it is an absolute. Maryland's going to give them a game, dude. They really are.
Oh no, I'm not taking nothing away from Maryland, but Penn State does definitely need to get their shit together and get a win going.
What did you think of? You heard me pitch about last week about that 2-pointer, that
Right.
2-point conversion. That was not a touchdown.
No, I agree with you. It was not a touchdown.
But tonight we've got a couple big games going. 7:30 kickoff. Miami at NC State on ESPN. CBS Network has San Jose State at San Diego State. That is always a fantastic game every year. Lisa's laughing at us. The big one tonight, BYU at Boise State, 9:45 on FS1.
I'm gonna say BYU.
Let's see.
Does it give you the spreads on there, or are you just rattling off the games?
No, I could get the spreads on ESPN. If you want, I can look them up real quick.
Well, just out of curiosity, why we're killing time here.
By the way, our Sunday games for those of us here in Pennsylvania, Fox is giving us, the dud game. New York Giants at Washington Redskins.
Fucking Lisa laughing. Because I said Navy.
Oh, Jesus Christ. You're going to be on that the whole show, aren't you?
Well, Lisa don't miss nothing. Trust me. You got one person in here that's going to, hear everything that we're going to say. And if we make a mistake, she's going to let us know about it.
Oh, boy. And you know what? It's going to be out there unless I delete this, it's going to be out there for, eternity.
Yep.
Early CBS, we've got Baltimore at Indianapolis. And our late game is going to be more or less going out to just about the entire country. Dallas's ass kicking, courtesy of the Pittsburgh Steelers.
Mm-hmm. Pittsburgh.
I was surprised because I'm looking at some of the updates, and a few of the stations are actually switching out of Pittsburgh and Dallas and going with Miami at Arizona.
Okay.
That actually, it does have some appeal because both of them are, they're second place teams. And depending on what happens with Buffalo, Seattle's at Buffalo this week. That's 1:00 at 1:00 on Fox. But Miami at Arizona could be a sleeper game. For those of you who follow like E-level announcers, Andrew Catalon and James Lofton is going to call that. I swear, Catalon's got like all the Dolphins games. Every time I see CBS come out with their announcer assignments, Miami or Jacksonville, it's always Andrew Catalon next to it. He's really good. So he first stumbled in, I think, about 7 years ago, and we're calling Cleveland, Cincinnati, I think. But yeah, depending on if Buffalo loses and Miami wins, Miami's going to be in first place in the AFC East.
Well, for you, that'd be good.
Oh, that's going to be great. But you know what? And this is why it's going to be so great. If they can contend with a quarterback like Kyler Murray. I mean, they kept Russell Wilson in check last week, or Jared Goff, in check last week, and Miami, surprisingly, they beat them pretty handily. I mean, ever since like week 2, they're starting to get it together. Tua proved that I think he proved that he's not ready yet. I mean, he was okay last week against the Rams, but he wasn't spectacular. But it was definitely the Dolphins' defense. 5 turnovers last week. 2 defensive touchdowns. I mean, it was, and a special teams touchdown. They finally got that monkey off their back, thank God.
I fucking watched the fucking rerun of the fucking San Francisco and Packers game. So disgusting.
Dude, what the hell happened last night?
So disgusting. I watched the rerun of it last night when I came home. I said, "Oh my God, this is sickening."
It was
like 34-3 at one time before and then they came back, and I think the final score was like 34-17 or something.
They got 2 touchdowns, in garbage time, but we're going to touch on this in a minute. Breaking news coming through. The Supreme Court orders Pennsylvania to separate ballots received after Election Day. So, there we go. Trump and his little bitch temper tantrums starting already.
Well, you knew that was going to happen.
And for those of you saying I'm whining about it, fuck you. I don't care.
Well, you know what? Well, I'll say my stuff until we get to the topic because I've always had a beef with politics and and everybody on Facebook. So when we get there, we'll go.
Lisa says I have an echo now. She says, ugh, 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 ugh.
Yeah, Biden's already being in. Biden, I think, thinking about, well, we're getting ahead. So you can finish the topic of your college football, and then we'll get to the main event.
Yeah,
well, I think we got the Rampy and the truck driving thing. If you want to talk about that, not unless you want to just.
We're gonna curb that. We're gonna curb that for this week. We'll do that next week.
because I don't think we have a big enough crowd to get juiced up here to talk about the politics thing. Not just yet.
Well, keep in mind too that we get people who watch the reruns.
Well, yeah. I always put it on the watch.
Oh yeah, this is gonna go up on Facebook Watch when we're done.
Well, yeah. And people already watch bits and pieces of it anyway. So what else? Football. I mean, whatever. I'm listening.
Okay, so which line were you asking about? Like who was the favorite for what?
I was just curious what the lines were in. Well, what's Penn State? That's no, really the only one I'm really curious of.
Why is that giving me only top 25? I don't want top 25. I want Big Ten. This is what happens when modern technology lags. We've got so much dead air.
I already brought the bathroom to the kitchen already. Is that what you said? Yeah, to the kitchen. Oh my god! And we're still talking about this. I guess that's what you mean. Okay.
Well, keep in mind we have 2 hours quote unquote set aside. What the fuck am I doing here?
I don't know what you're doing. You're the operator. We're just following your lead.
That was the first mistake, letting me control this.
I'm starting to realize that now.
Technology is rebelling against us. How does that make me feel? It does not. Shut the fuck up. I already know where you're going.
I wasn't even going to say nothing, but okay. I'll go with that.
Right.
I always keep my mouth shut. I don't have my own opinions about things all the time. Your finger is full of shit.
Penn State, even though they're 0-2, they're a 26-point favorite over Maryland.
I don't know who came up with that.
That is insane. That is ridiculous.
I don't even buy that. No. Penn State is not even that good to be favored by that much.
Yeah, Lisa, I know. We need to figure out the audio issue. I mean, it could be any number of things at this point.
Maybe we should do this around a fucking campfire or something.
That's what I'm thinking. Or almost maybe a campfire, maybe at a bar, or maybe in person where we could simulate an echoing noise or a clicking noise or. So Nadine disappeared, I think. Usually she's Little Miss Chatty.
I don't know. She was on there like a minute ago, so I don't know. Oh, 99% of the votes are in Georgia, and Biden's winning.
Yeah, I saw that. Biden is close. Biden closes in on Pennsylvania. Now his lead is growing in Pennsylvania.
Yeah. Well,
you know what? Let's just get to this because we keep almost touching on it.
Oh yeah. So we might as well just.
We might as well just go to the election.
So this is gonna be a long topic anyway.
Did you expect this kind of turnout?
You know what? It was. I really thought.
No, Lisa, we don't see you.
I really thought Trump was gonna pull some shit, and I'm really surprised that some of the states that were red back in 2016 are now blue. So I'm very surprised of this outcome because I really thought it was going to be a lot closer, and I really think Trump was kind of going to have like maybe a slight lead because I didn't think Biden was going to pull away, but you know
Uh huh.
what, the way I look at it, and I've seen all the crybabies on Facebook over the last couple of days, and with the counting of the ballots, it's taken so long, yada yada yada, yada. And now people are, I think the Republicans have something to worry about. I think the people that are still, you know, riding on Trump, are starting to see that now that he's probably going to be, he's pretty much almost to the point that I would think he's going to have to concede soon. Because I was watching, I off and on today, I was watching, watching the election stuff, and they were talking about, but Trump don't have, and this was like earlier today. Now we're like really later in the day, and now we're starting to see that now it's even getting more closer. But earlier today, they were saying that Trump doesn't have a lot of moves at that point. Like I think it was like earlier this afternoon or late morning. They were saying that, and now we're like 8 o'clock at night, and Biden's just pulling away. Really really heavily now. So I expect to hear. Probably within the next hour that because they were talking about Biden coming on prime time tonight and probably giving an acceptance speech.
I saw that.
So I'm thinking within the next hour. I think, and now I just saw some of the latest results. I think it's getting to that point that Biden I'm going to say within the next hour, half hour maybe, that they're going to break into Delaware where he's having going to have that speech, and I think it's getting to that point where Trump doesn't have no other options but to concede, and someone's going to have to. I don't, I forget who they said who's in charge of going to tell Trump this, I was listening. McConnell was, I guess, tweeting or something today or something. I think he knows which way this is headed either because he wasn't really supporting the president either.
Who was that? Kaylee, what's her name? Kaylee McHenry or what forth?
Yeah, something like that. Yeah.
She is. She has got to be the dumbest person in the world. I mean, I when you think stereotypical blonde, she sadly is that. She really is. Oh, this White House didn't do that. Oh, this White House didn't do that. Uh, Bitch, there's evidence. It's just mind numbing. Absolutely mind numbing.
Oh yeah. Every time I heard her talk, it was like, it's like I had a cringe. I said, really? This is what you really believe?
So just let me throw a number at you real quick. 150 million.
And what's that number represent?
How many people voted this time around?
Oh yeah, it's the highest amount of any presidency. I heard that. A lot of people made their voice heard this time. Whether you whether you did it in person or whether you did it by mail-in ballot, I think a lot of people wanted to make their voice count, and this is why I think this is why the election has a different outcome than what I expected to be.
It did, and just the amount of people that voted, it was absolutely, I mean, mind numbing. I was so happy to see that This number I want to say was maybe 3, 4 times what we've seen in the past couple elections. This was
No,
one of those where we've heard it on the news, we've heard it on the radio, we've, you know, what forth, get out there and vote, make sure your voice is heard. Because, especially after the 2000 election, where Al Gore won the popular vote but not the presidency. 2016, where Hillary Clinton won the popular vote by, I think, 4 million was the number, but she didn't win the White House. There were a lot of questions as to whether does my voice matter because of issues like this. I know Lisa and I have talked about this extensively. Nadine and I have talked about this. What was it going to take to get people to the polls to let their voice be heard? The fact is that a lot of people consider, and it's 50-50, listen, Donald Trump is toxic. He is a toxic human being. He has set us back decades. He's turned the United States into like his own reality show. And I was talking to my mom earlier. One of three things is going to happen. He's going to sue his way into a second term. And yes, Lisa, I agree. We'll touch on that into a second. He's going to find out that it's definitely done, and he's going to off himself in the Oval Office. Or he's going to find out someone is going to finally get to him and say, listen, it's over. Your presidency is over. And he's going to get on a plane to his golf course in Ireland because they have no extradition. Because, listen, in all reality, the second he leaves the White House, he's going to prison for his crimes. He should be in prison now, and he's not. Because I guess presidents get protected or what forth as long as they're seating. But now it becomes the clemency law. Is he going to pardon him? Is he going to pardon himself? Can he?
I don't think he can. But you know what? We're talking about Trump here. He's gotten away with a lot of things over the last 4 years. They tried to impeach him. That didn't work. He's he's been talking out his ass since day one. So he's in denial since day one. So he's gotten away with a lot of shit. So I mean,
sirens behind me. I have no idea what's going on outside, but
but I think well, I can guarantee he's not a good loser to begin with. He's not. The third option is not. I don't even think it's going to be an option. I don't think he's just going to. I don't think he's just going to leave that easily without making a big stink.
Nah, he already said he's not going to concede.
Well, I not even hearing that. I was already thinking that he was not going to do that because I'm pretty sure he's going to make every point he's going to try any way he can to drag this shit out. He's going to pull out all the stops.
Oh yeah, without a doubt.
And then this will be dragging on. Well, I think they have to be done with this by the end of November or something like that. I forget.
Well, you remember Gore and Bush in 2000 took it all the way up to they took it all the way up to Inauguration Day, I think.
Well, yeah.
They took it up to just before the vote had to be ratified. But And honestly, Gore got robbed in that election. He really did, but that's neither here nor there.
Yeah, Trump, I think Trump knows he's probably done. He's never going to admit that. He's never going to admit that he's done. But I think in his own mind, I think he knows that he's probably his days are numbered. Even though he won't come out and actually say that.
I had seen something. Biden's closing the gap in North Carolina, which
Yeah,
is very, very surprising. I didn't see that coming.
yeah, I just saw that. Yeah, it's getting close now. It's definitely getting close. I think that's why everybody's paying attention to the election. I expect probably by 9 o'clock that Biden's gonna have they're gonna pull away from this and Biden's gonna have a speech tonight. I I,
So,
I pretty much think Trump is done at this point because now that more votes are coming in now. And now Biden's pulling away even more. So I think Joe Biden's going to be doing his acceptance speech tonight. Regardless what any Trump supporter wants to think. Regardless of what Trump wants to think, I think tonight is the night where Biden gives the acceptance speech. And I think even though it's going to probably be drug out for forever, however long afterwards, but I think the speech is coming tonight.
regardless of how this plays out, Trump needs both Georgia and Pennsylvania.
He's not going to get. He's not going to
He
get
needs
Penn.
them both. Even if Biden just gets one of them, his road is blocked.
Well, Biden leads in Pennsylvania, Georgia, Arizona, and Nevada for all the electoral count. That's what they just said. Joe Biden leads the electoral count in Pennsylvania, Georgia, Arizona, and Nevada.
Yep. Um, Now, Fox News is getting criticized and actually crucified by the rest of the media because they've given Arizona to Joe Biden already.
I think they gave that to him already, like this afternoon already.
Oh, they gave it to him election night already.
Oh well, I didn't know about that, but I know I heard something about that today that that he already won that state, and
Now,
he's probably going to sue about that too, or he's gonna make a big stink out of this. This is far from over, even though if Biden does get the votes that he needs to get elected into the office, this is far from over.
I mean, here's the thing: the Supreme Court can say, okay, you have to separate you have to separate the ballots that were received after election day, which that just came down for Pennsylvania. Which that's bullshit. That's voter suppression. The citizens, by all right, do have a right to sue, for voter suppression. I mean, re- regardless, if you take Pennsylvania off the table, you still need Georgia if you're Trump as
Yeah.
your path to the White House. You need to sweep, and you're not going to get it. I mean,
He's not. He's one. He's not. He's behind in all the states he needs to win the White House, and he's behind.
exactly.
So he's got his path to the White House is being blocked. Because a lot of these red states back in that were red states back in 2016 are now blue at this point, and I don't see. anything changing. I think Trump's done, and he obviously he's not going to concede. He's not going to admit it. But I think the Trump supporters see that too, because I've been looking at Facebook over the last couple of days. They're making a big stink out. Da 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 da. The Democrats are cheaters. Da 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 da.
Oh
Da.
yeah, I've seen that too. You know what? Tucker Carlson, he's on Fox News, crying like a little bitch right now about it. Um, so we'll just go away from that. Honestly, Nell and we were talking this morning about this guy from CNN. I don't know what his name is, but source: Trump unhappy with legal team, vowing more action.
Hmm.
David said, they had, I guess, a Republican legal expert on there this morning. This is on CNN, and he said he doesn't see what anyone's doing wrong. This has been up to this point a fair election. The ballots are being counted. Trump can call for recounts, but it's not going to make any difference.
Yeah, yeah. I think he knows. I think everybody knows. Even everybody, all the Republicans are making a big stink right now because I think they know Biden's obviously winning and probably on his way to the White House, and that's why now. Well, not just now. They've been saying that the Democrats have cheated their way through this whole election.
But as long as the states he's winning, it's okay for the counts to continue.
Oh
I
well, yeah,
mean,
of course.
if there's anything, I have just one thing to critique, and that CNN has not awarded Alaska to Trump yet. That one I'm kind of scratching my head about
Hmm.
because he's ahead by like 50,000 votes or something like that.
And it's going to to him.
No, but the other thing is they've been sitting on like 53% of the votes counted for God, like 3-4 days now. So I don't know if there's some kind of legal thing going on up there,
Right.
or something like that. Just the numbers that we have now: Georgia 4,039, Pennsylvania 19,491. So we'll call it 20. Nevada 22,657. Arizona 36,835. Those are all the states where Biden has to lead, and by how many?
Mm.
I don't see any kind of recount overturning.
No, not when you have that many. When you're ahead by that much. I
But
mean, Georgia was close for a while, and now I think he's pulled away from that. I don't know. I don't know what the latest on that was. I know Georgia was close at one time, and Pennsylvania.
he's been ahead by roughly 4,000 votes for the majority of the day. I don't see enough votes out there for Trump to catch him. I think they're going to award Georgia to Biden tonight. I don't know what's going on with Arizona. They're at 94%. But yeah, Georgia's at 99%. Can't see. I can't see Trump catching up in Georgia.
No, I think all the states he needs to win, he's not going to catch up in. I think he's done at this point, but we'll see. I guess what happens.
Yeah, I guess we're going to see how it plays out.
But I mean, even though the results are coming in, everybody, even though I think we all know that Biden's probably going to win the presidency, but I think there's going to be a whole big ordeal over this before it's all said and done.
What do you think of Fox News' stance where they will not they've gone on record, and the media has been crucifying them for this. They've stated that they will not recognize Joe Biden as the president-elect.
I think that's bullshit. They've been on the Trump bandwagon forever. So yeah,
Hey, hell, even this idiot Tucker Carlson, who's on Fox News. By the way, Tucker, my response to you, and
why
I'm
you?
sure
There you go.
Democrats feel the same way. Just stop already. You guys know what's about to happen.
I think that's why, not just Trump. I think that's why you're on social media, on Facebook. Everybody that's voted for Trump, they know what's about to happen too. But now they want to come up with every excuse in the book why this result is happening.
Donald Trump, in my opinion, he could still, and this is not going to be a popular opinion amongst, our audience. Donald Trump can save face still by making the phone call, by conceding, bitch all you want after you bitch and moan all you want on the media after you get out. You could still be gracious and save face.
But that's not going to happen.
It's not gonna. I would love to see it happen. I would love, there's a part of me that thinks he could possibly still be a decent human being and have a peace, make the concession phone call, have a peaceful transition of power, which we've had for hundreds of years, be the bigger man, shake his hand, and go on and run your reality shows and businesses, which will, listen, he could go back to, what is it, The Apprentice or what forth?
Yeah.
Regardless of what happens, he can go back to Hollywood with his reality shows. That's still going to garner, big time ratings just because of his name, which is fine after his presidency. He could use that on a resume somewhere. Hell, I wouldn't be surprised if he tried to run again in 2024. But bow out graciously. Save face.
No, he's not going to do that though. It's easy to come out and say all that, and but now if it would be anybody else other than Donald Trump, I think that's probably what would happen. But we're talking about Donald Trump, and he's been the biggest fucking bullshitter since day one.
If it was Mike Pence as president right now, I don't think we'd be having this conversation. We wouldn't be talking about, graceful transition of power or anything like that. Because these guys are career politicians.
Right.
There's unwritten rule. And Lisa, I half agree with you, but I mean, his name has generated ratings. It's generated business, even though he's run them into the ground. But the fact that he does stuff on his name value, and he has for years. But anyway, what I was saying was, if it was Mike Pence, we wouldn't be having this conversation. Because there would be, Pence would be crying to his mommy, but you know what? The career politicians know the unwritten rules of the transfer of power, the White House pranks, so to speak. I guess when George W. Bush went in, someone took all the W's off of every single keyboard. But any last thoughts before my voice decides to go?
No, I think Biden's on his way to winning, and that's my final thought.
Biden is definitely in. Next week we'll get to the trucker and rampy life. We'll talk about that. We'll talk about vacations. I saw you throw that out there.
Oh yeah.
Places you could go to. I want to verbalize that next week. So we'll put that on the show. We'll do the pigskin picks and roasts like we did. Go over the COVID cancellations and whatnot. One last thought. Friends of mine, Kim and Trevor, get well soon. We're all rooting for you to get well. And with that, I guess we'll wrap it up.
Okay. Till next week.
Till next week, I'm Endy. He's Mohler. This has been the End Zone. Now, go peacefully into the night, peasants.
Yes.